guy. A lot of the stuff I do ain't smart. I've been feeling great, gave you the key to my heart. When I'm walking with my baby, feeling so carefree. What good is it come up if you can't ride with me? I'm just trying to be the one that they always talk about.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Everything looks good when you open your eyes.
Beer for breakfast. Yeah.
Yeah, everything looks good when you open your eyes. You know why? Because it may hurt Jets fans, but at least you're not the Jets. And in the end, it's just hockey. Yeah. No, I don't believe a word of that. Well, we got Nelson and Junior, although it can't be Nelson and Nelson, so it's Loverboy NeL. He's got that LL Cool J vibe going on. You just heard brand new track, The One. Hey, Loverboy, how's it going?
It's going good. How about you?
It's going fantastic. You know what? Your dad was mocking. I mean, I was walking in. I assume he does it nonstop at home, but I'm digging the whole Loverboy thing. I mean, like, you know, every joke that comes out. Yeah, maybe it's because I'm a dad.
Yeah,
maybe I'm starting to get a dad joke game going on here, but I dig it. I'm with it.
He's going to be stuck with the name now because he wants to go get a tattoo on his arm that says Loverboy. So
beats the heck out of anything like Lil.
Yes, yeah. There's like a dozen Lils right now. It's funny because his nickname at home would be, of course, Lil Nelson. So I said, doesn't that fit better? You just be Lil Nel. That's perfect, right? Everybody's Lil nowadays. I think there's even a Lil, isn't there?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. There's probably something.
I don't know. Don't ask me.
There's a lot of dumb names.
About well, mind you, I think about it at this stage of the game. The only thing that's as foreign to me as hip hop is country music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I can't.
You know, it's interesting for me because I was a big hip hop fan. Like, you know, the classic stuff. To me, classic is NWA, Ice Cube, that kind of stuff.
Public Enemy.
Tupac, absolutely. So the new stuff, I actually hate it. I can't stand new rap. And my son is getting into rap, but he's into the new style rap. So he plays me stuff, and as a parent, it's like, I want to support it and say this is great, and I'm proud of you. And I am super proud of him. But it's like, this isn't my style, man. Let's play some. I'm always trying to get him to do classic beats, and you know, it's coming along though. I mean, I think I really enjoy what he's doing, even if I don't like the style, and that's been an interesting thing for me to kind of navigate.
So it's part of the new wave. I'm so like, I mean, I got Arrested Development, Digital Underground, De La Soul, and Public Enemy, and that's about.
I'm just happy he's not mumbling into the microphone.
Okay, so mumble rap, is that Drake? Like that sort of.
I'm pretty sure that like it started off with like Migos and that whole crew, and then a bunch of other artists like Lil Uzi there's a lot of weird names, but basically Migos started it and everybody else kind of copied them, and it's not something I like to listen to. It's kind of trash, honestly, but
I think he could make a great career just taking, like, covering classic rap songs, but just mumbling them since that's the thing nowadays, right? It's a thought.
Just call it a sample. A sample of a sample.
Yes.
Well, that's the problem with all the old school stuff and why you don't hear it, and you know it's not as influential. Is licensing changed? Back then, all you had to do is you didn't have to tell anybody who was on it because there was no such thing as licensing and all of that. You just did it and acknowledged that it was somebody, and then the whole world changed.
Yeah, the whole song was samples.
And you got to get, and even if you don't get money or anything else, you got to get permission. And the hardest part, quite often, is finding out who owns the song.
Yeah.
Like a local Celtic band, the Dust Rhinos, when they've got a great song called Sailor Song. The chorus is, "When I told you I loved you, I was drunk, but I meant it anyway."
Yeah.
I think, to me, there's no more honest love song.
That's a great line.
But it was written by a Toronto songwriter who had passed away, and it was so hard. They had no idea, and they were thinking, maybe we should just risk it anyway. And anyway, they tracked down the widow, and she said, "Go ahead. I don't even know. Whatever. Just go. Just do it."
Well, I think you had a great idea that you said that Nelson, because I was teasing him about the name Loverboy and saying, when you start performing, people are going to say, this next kid is hot tonight. He's working for the weekend and loving every minute of it. And, you said he should sample Loverboy in his rap songs. I think that's brilliant. It's awesome.
Yeah.
The generation nowadays won't even know what the hell you're doing. They'll think it's all original.
Yeah, pretty much.
You say ain't about bitches and hoes. I can say bitch because it's in the Bible.
Oh, okay, that's all right. That's the thing.
So is ass and bastard.
So there's a lot of leeway. Well, you could, if you're going to take songs from the Bible, you can say anything you want at that point.
Pretty much so. But yeah,
I'm not going to go there. I'm going to offend people again.
You ruined the punchline I had. I'm not very funny, so I got it's like the one shot I had. Instead of that, you can have hot girls in love. Yeah, I think that was their last big hit.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, Loverboy, they were something. No, you need some. Get some red leather pants.
Although no rapper's doing that, you got to admit.
Yeah, true. My own gimmick.
And that's aged better, ironically, aged better than Michael Jackson's leather jacket.
I always try to give him good advice. I said, you need a gimmick, you need a hook, something that's going to catch people's attention, right? I said, why don't you change your name from Loverboy NeL and be DJ PJ and just wear pajamas on stage all the time? 1 week it's bunnies, 1 week it's rocket ships, whatever, just to capture the mind of the audience, right?
Well, that's EDM, though. Like, that's Marshmello, Deadmau5.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Deadmau5 is a little more serious. What was that?
Have a pillow for a helmet.
Perfect.
There you go. Anybody want that idea? You can license that. Just give us a call here at Beer for Breakfast.
Yeah, we're not taking that idea.
We'll pass that along. So Loverboy. You know what? I've got that song stuck in my head every time I go to say Loverboy. Is Love is Strange.
Yeah.
Hey, Loverboy. Hey, how do you call your Loverboy? I say, come here, Loverboy.
And if he doesn't answer?
I say, come here. Yeah, he even knows that. Yeah, you got it.
The only reason I know it, though, is because there's this app called TikTok. I'm not sure if you've heard of that. And it's like one of the most annoying things on YouTube right now.
Other than mumble rapper.
Other than that. But
for Baby Shark.
Don't even get me started on that. But anyways, this TikTok app, it takes a bunch of songs and clips from movies, and these people do their they put their phone near their face and they do little actions with their hands or whatever, and they lip sync to it. So that Loverboy part pops up so much to the point where you're like, what's this from? And how can I get rid of it?
Well, I think just the one comment I'm going to make about Baby Shark, it's not stuck in my head, so I can say Baby Shark do all I want and I'm good. But I think the issue is the melody and everything is very similar to a pop hit. Don't ask me which one. But it's so familiar. But that's my theory on it.
Somebody's owed some money somewhere.
Somebody's got. Well, I'm not. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Just that it's so close that it's familiar, and everybody has got it stuck in their head until they're like, oh, that was. And the second that somebody figures out what that pop tune that is a distant cousin to Baby Shark, that'll be the end of it. Except for kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought my granddaughter a little tiny baby shark doll. You squeeze the belly and it plays a song. And I got that, and that's like total revenge against my oldest daughter. Give that to her kid, and she won't stop squeezing it. So my job as a grandparent is done.
You have no rules as a grandparent.
No, I just, you try to keep them alive. See, with my own kids, right? I mean, at this point, I used to do the care and control and that kind of stuff, right? Now it's like, just keep them alive until they go to their mom's. My job is done.
I remember we were talking about this when Daisy was born, and, we'd sterilize, and you'd say, the first one, you'd sterilize the bottles for 3 hours.
That's right,
and, you'd sterilize the equipment and everything that touched it, and there was bleach everywhere.
Yeah, anybody wants to hold the baby, you got to wash your hands first. Now it's like, we have no babysitter. Well, there's a homeless guy that can probably watch them.
And, the water's hot enough, that'll clean out the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's not about caring less, it's about knowing more.
Yes, it's about time management. We'll say that.
Yeah. There is no time management. Follow. Don't touch that! But anyway, Loverboy. I can't do it, but I love it. I can't say it properly, but it's a whole lot of fun. What were your biggest influences? Like we're in the middle of the prairies.
Yeah.
How do you get into hip hop?
Honestly, all the stuff that influenced me was mostly old school. There was stuff like NWA and Eminem and Eazy-E. I'm not sure if you can count Eminem as new school or old school.
I was just gonna say,
Because,
it's funny
like,
to me that he's saying
Yeah,
Eminem is old school.
yeah.
Because like because he's kind of in the middle now.
Maybe.
Saying that he's old school makes me feel old.
Yeah.
Because he was like the next wave,
Yeah.
the resurgence.
Yeah. So there's there's a lot of old school rappers that I was influenced by but then there's also some new school ones that also influenced me. I'm not sure if you've heard of Lil Peep, which is one of the Lils that I actually like to listen to.
I've heard of, but I kind of tune out it. Wow, that's a dumb name.
Yeah. And then here's another pretty dumb name, but my dad doesn't really like him because of all the controversy around his name, but his name's XXXTentacion.
Oh my god.
And then that guy.
What a knob.
Yes, he was. Like, pick a better influence. Come on, man. I just.
And then there's a bunch of other artists. Another one that has another Lil Lil Skies. That's another really good artist. But yeah, basically it's a mix between old school and new school that influenced me, and sometimes you can hear it in the songs that I make.
And what we talked briefly about this online, about the clean and the dirty versions. And we were going to talk about, we had a few things we were going to talk to with Clayton. Clayton, we had a whole thing planned out.
Good morning, Clayton, wherever the hell you are.
I had a whole bunch of good trigger jokes, you know? And, oh well. But we can still go on that track. I mean, like, there's certain things, like you bring up NWA. As a white guy, what do I do when all of a sudden they drop an N-bomb? I'm like, am I supposed to sing? Am I allowed to sing?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, and I just the radio and go,
Yeah.
and continue on, like...
We had that, actually, when I was in university. We used to do pub crawls here at the U of M, and we're on the bus, and by the end of the night, everybody's hammered, and everybody's singing along, and so I would start Eazy-E songs, NWA songs. A bunch of us are singing one particular song that has a couple N-bombs in it, right? So we get to that part, and there's a couple black guys that are singing along with us. We're all partying, all having fun, no issues. We get to that part, they sing it. The rest of us just autopilot, we just stopped, except for one guy who he hammered it down, man, and it became an issue right away. They're like, whoa, wait a minute, you can't say that. And then we ended up having a bit of a discussion, like, why not? Why can't I say it? It's a lyric at this point, right? Why am I going to stop singing because you're uncomfortable with me saying certain words? I mean, it's a tough one to navigate. I do get it, and I don't use it in jokes, but I mean, I have one time. It went over well, though. But it's a tough point to navigate, right? Like, what can you and can't you do? So, I mean, I know as a rapper, he's not writing that particular lyric ever. I don't know how you navigate that kind of stuff this day and age.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of stuff that people get offended by, though, because I'm pretty sure there's something, like, one of my coworkers told me about people were offended about the whiteout name.
Oh, yeah, that's a load of crap real late.
Like, how is that racist?
She wasn't obviously she wasn't feeling victimized enough, and, you know, it's like, get off the cross, we need the wood.
Yeah.
If you look for, you know, if you look for trouble, you'll find it.
Yeah, somebody's going to start selling Jets hoods now, just pointy white hoods to go with the rest of the whiteout party.
Like, and it shows a great ignorance of history, right? Like, yeah, back then, you wore white. Home team always wore white.
Yeah.
And, you know, like up until a few years ago where they switched because color was the thing.
Yeah.
The home team always wore white, and I've got Jets souvenirs. You know, good guys wear white because it's a home team, right? And I mean, you know, whatever you can make out of that from the Western, you know, the guys with white hats, and whether that was racist or not, but whatever. You wear. It's gotten past that. You wear white at home. The Jets, jet hot, white hot, lightning on ice. Like, there's a whole bunch of them, and you run out of things, and then everybody wear white to the game.
That's right.
It's a white out,
and
which was a comparison. Yeah.
You know, it's all about solidarity, right? I just showing that we're all behind our team. That's all it was. But I think the problem with this is you get one idiot that says something stupid and complains and says that it's racist, and then the media jumps on that. I don't think there's a big wave in Winnipeg of people saying this is terrible, we shouldn't do it. I really think it's one or two idiots that are saying this is such a terrible thing, and we focus in on them and make it this big media story now, where there's no real story there. Most people don't care.
And the media has some culpability in giving that the air. And I mean, I told in this. Well, it's not even a 24-hour news cycle anymore. It's like a 15-minute news cycle. It's like, oh, that was 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if the news can't be Snapchatted, we don't have time. Like, you got the New York Times, and then there's the rest of the world that's nothing but a tweet.
Yeah.
And so,
I get my
we gotta have something.
Facebook.
It's like, oh, here's a different story. Yeah, but it's BS.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but it's a different story.
Yeah.
But it's. Yeah, but people, and now they've got something different to do than, you sportsed better than the other sports team, and, well, even though we sportsed them 8-0, and it's been 18 games since they won, you can't count them out, they're a good sports, and, like, why?
Yeah.
Why do you even interview athletes? Coaches are a little bit better, but just say, do you have a dog? Does your dog like chew toys, or is he more of a ball thing? Is it?
I love athlete interviews, especially playoff interviews for hockey players. They're fantastic. I think they have one script. That's it. That they're taught when you start playing hockey. If you're in the playoffs and you're interviewed in the between periods, you have to say the same thing. They got a really good team out there, and they did better than us in the preseason, but we got to just keep our chances together.
Yeah, don't want to say anything to upset them.
I would love if they just trash talk. Why can't it be like NBA players, like Dennis Rodman back in the day? I want to see a hockey player come on and do that shit.
That's why Dennis Rodman was one of my favorites. Like, I mean, I like him and Charles Barkley, and I like Bill Embiid. He was my favorite of the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah.
They were all nasty.
Oh yeah,
because he'd go up to the. I'm not much of a basketball fan, but I love the fact that he'd go up to the bucket with his elbow out, like come and get it, boom, right in the jaw.
Yeah, I love stuff like that. And you don't see that in hockey. Hockey could be like 7-1 going into the third period, and they're interviewing a guy on the winning team, and he's saying, "Well, we can't count them out just yet. Come on, man, trash talk. Let's have some of it."
Your top line isn't even playing anymore, and so as I say, I'm not much of a hip hop guy, but how does hip hop develop here in the city? Like, where do you go from now? You've got a computer, you got a phone, you can do it in your home. It's awesome. Okay, so now you've got your music. What is the grassroots level for hip hop in this city? How do you just start?
That's a hard one actually. Basically how I started actually is I was a little bit of a sad boy. So I would write down my emotions on paper and my notes on my phone.
Sad boy, is that the new emo?
Yeah, basically.
Thanks for bringing your son, Nelson. He's making it feel really, really old.
So basically, I just wrote all my whatever I was thinking at the time, and then I decided to why not record it, and then it started from over there.
You did have your first performance the other day, though, right?
And actually, I did. The song that just played actually a couple minutes ago, I performed that in front of my school. And let's just say it wasn't the best time for me. I was terrified.
I can't think of anything. Most people are less afraid of dying than performing. Some of us can do it to a degree. I mean, I can MC, but I'm not a performer. But I'm starting to, need a shrink just thinking about the idea of going back. I couldn't, no way.
Yeah, it's funny because I see
no words, just there's no way in front of my high school I could have done anything.
Wow. Because I've seen you host before at Shannon's and other, and you seem comfortable, you seem fine. And,
totally.
I mean, the liquid courage is flowing a little bit, but,
but not as much as it used to. As you get better, you need less. Mm-hmm. And by the time he ended, actually long before he ended, but Dean Martin had apple juice or iced tea.
Oh yeah,
he was just he was faking it. The rest of the Rat Pack, on the other hand,
yeah.
But sometimes you need a glass of courage to get up there, and then one day you go I missed that line because I had a glass of courage, and it's I don't need it. Actually, it's impeding me.
I think at this point for him, and I don't know much about the whole rap scene in Winnipeg either. I really know nothing about it. But I thought, would reach out to you. I really appreciate you getting him on and playing the song. That was fantastic. I think we're going to explore community things like Transcona High Neighbor Festival. Maybe see if we can get him on stage at the Cube this summer. Maybe get him on. Just stuff like that. I think at this point I've been telling him you just want to find the opportunity to get up and perform as much as humanly possible.
And we're going to talk more about that after this break. And we're going to continue. What offends you? Wankel rotary engine. downtown if you cross Portage in Maine, and people, it's like, no. Have you ever been downtown in any other city? It's dead after 5. Like, it is. Have you ever been downtown St. Paul? Well, there really isn't much of a downtown St. Paul. It's sort of a, like Winnipeg. But, like, Minneapolis, you ever been downtown? It's dead. There's not even there's no convenience stores even. Like, you got your hotel and you got the Skywalk.
Yeah, you want to revitalize downtown, you got to build a Walmart down there, I think.
Yeah. You need more than just one giant tiger.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so anyway, we're talking about words. And when you're writing there, Loverboy, do you have to be in that space, like, like when you're dropping? I'm assuming that there's not any N-bombs there, but
No,
like,
of course not.
you hear all sorts of. I just flat out say garbage, like, B and H's, because I find like right from the get go when they were talking like that, I just like, yep, you lost me. I don't remember Chuck D singing like that. Even Tupac when he started, like there's a guy that's a big bag of BS. He started off in Digital Underground. He was a comedian.
Yeah.
So don't give me this I'm so thug. You want to be thug? That's what happens, buddy. You get a bunch of bullets in you.
Yeah.
Seriously, you want to be bad, you die early.
Yeah, I think Dr. Dre started out too. He's wearing like sequins, and he had like a stethoscope was his gimmick kind of thing, right? And doing like dance music.
The really bad guys like Ice-T, and Ice Cube, what did they do? They worked to get out of it, and they never went back. Yeah. But anyway, so, but when you're writing there, how do you know when it needs an F-bomb? Like, do you have to keep up with, as your dad, as us old guys were saying, that's just garbage. But it is what's popular. Do you have to keep up with the vernacular of what's popular?
No, not really, because like what I've noticed is that people don't really care if there's any swears in any songs. Like, they basically listen to the hook and they're like, okay, I like this, and then they'll listen to it. But like, what I do is usually I put on an instrumental, and then like if it sounds good to me, then words start popping to my head right away. And that's one thing that I have that's actually really good to have. So I think
we've had conversations about it too, where I'm telling him, there's this risk, especially in this day and age, like you said, if people are dropping B's and H's constantly, right?
Yeah.
You're alienating part of your audience. This is the Me Too movement. This is the generation we're in. So anything you're saying like that, probably you want to scale back on that and cut that out. So I've noticed the progression in his music where he's been doing that. The other day, though, he wrote this song. He played it for me, and it was the first time, and I'm proud of you, and I support your stuff. Don't take this the wrong way. The first time I was really into one of his songs. I was like, wow, this is fantastic. I like the beat. The lyrics are good. It's got a good flow to it. And then he had a buddy come in and start singing, and it was nothing but F, this, B, and it was just too much. I'm like, what are you doing? You just crapped all over your own song. This was fantastic. Can we re-record it and cut him out without offending your buddy too much? Because it was good. It was flowing nicely, and then this. So there's a bit of a progression there, but I think much like in comedy, you start out and you go where you think you're supposed to go. So he's been doing that for a while, but I'm noticing a much better improvement in his lyrics. So hopefully there'll be more growth. And I think once he starts performing live, he'll probably see that where he gets out on stage. And if he's dropping those kind of lyrics, you're going to lose some of your audience. That's part of the reality.
Yeah.
And coming from somebody who off the air swears like a trucker, it's like, my greatest fear is that Daisy's first word. Well, she's got a few little words, but that her first sentence will be for sakes. That's my greatest fear.
I think that was Nelson's first word.
But when you don't have it everywhere, like, well, take Bruce Cockburn. Like, if I had a rocket launcher, he's a pacifist. Like, that had such power, especially at the end when he says some son of a bitch is going to die. It's like, holy smokes. And like, what? And everybody was just not outraged, but just like, whoa, what's going on? He's like, everybody gets angry.
Yeah, much more power behind it, and you're not hearing it constantly.
And the controversy quickly ended with, it's still a powerful song that's one of his most played. But is there anything, other than, of course, an N-bomb, is there anything that is completely off limits?
Honestly, any other, like, slurs, really, racial slurs. One thing that I'm trying to stay away from, which I'm working at it is anything sexist. Because, like, yeah, it may seem funny at the time, but yeah, I could screw up my entire career.
Oh yeah, he's dropping the B's in his, but it's mostly in reference to other rappers or you know, like
Yeah.
dudes, right? You know,
Yeah.
that kind of tough guy. And that's why I'm like,
A metaphor.
write about what you know, right?
Yeah.
Write about what you know. Don't put yourself into this place that you're not, right? You're not getting high every day. You're not shooting people up. You're not robbing gas stations, right? You're playing Nintendo Switch all night.
Pretty much.
Waking me up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Write a song about that because it could be funny, right? Let's go that route instead. So
Yeah.
And plus, you know, most of those rappers that are talking, oh, I'm so bad. It's like, no, you're not.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why you need 18 thugs around you.
Yeah.
Because you were the kid that got picked on. Because you always crack. Like, give me a break.
yeah, I love it. He does have a couple tough guy songs. I'm like, you were in one fight in your life, man. That was it. You win one fight, and now you're going to take on the world.
Well, you know, then that's the way it goes, eh?
Yeah, but he's a hard worker. He's writing constantly. He's recording constantly. I mean, some of it's going to be terrible, and some of it's going to be great. And I mean, he's building towards his album. I think you're almost done.
I'm halfway through, yeah. I have 6 out of 13.
And then, are you going to release it digitally, or are you going to try and get like a for real copy?
I'm probably going to get it digitally, but if I can, I'm going to try getting both. Because the more money I spend on it, hopefully the more money I can gain back from it.
Oh, the optimism of youth.
Yeah.
No, don't listen to that crusty old man. Not only crusty because can't do it anymore. You got to do it when you're young, and you got to just, you know, once you have them ectoparasite, I mean children, or a home or a car, or anything. And once you have something that you can't carry, you're not moving.
Yeah.
Your feet can go moving, but you're not going anywhere. So do it now. Do it when you're young. Loverboy NeL, where do they find you on the interwebs?
They can find me on almost every social media platform that's known, pretty much.
So it's your Instagram handle.
So Instagram is Loverboy NeL. You search that up, and there's me, and then there's also NeL the Loverboy. That's my other account.
Are you on SoundCloud or Spotify or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm on SoundCloud. First, as soon as you search up Loverboy NeL on Google, the first 2 options that come up is my YouTube and SoundCloud, so that's perfect.
Don't listen to the other 7 Loverboy NeLs.
I don't think there is any. So that's
I still say you should go the total opposite route and do the whole LL Cool J, romantic thing. Like, why do you want to be picking fights with dudes when you can not be picking fights with the ladies or whoever you're, whatever. I know all about the gender fluidity of youth.
Yeah.
I hate these changing times.
Get off my lawn.
It's different. Damn clouds. Loverboy NeL, thanks for joining us. Nelson, always a pleasure. When can they catch you?
Actually, I am doing a show locally, May 27th. I'm going to be hosting. My friend Scott Porteous, another local comedian, is recording his DVD special. So I'm going to be hosting that at Bulldog Pizza on Main Street, May 27th. So people can stalk me online too. I'm everywhere, Nelson Mayer, local comedian. Find me on Facebook, and I can sell you tickets to that.
And yeah, follow Nelson on Facebook. He's pretty funny, and there are things that are a little edgy.
Yeah, that we were supposed to talk about with Clayton here.
Yeah. Oh, I hope you have a nice sleep, Clayton. I wish we had some snow to dump underneath the blanket. That'd wake him up.
Probably
Get the air horn.
So yeah, Nelson Mayer on Facebook, Loverboy NeL wherever you're listening, and we'll be right back on Beer for Breakfast. We got the freebie zone coming up, but first we gotta play. For all the hate in this world, we're gonna